What if I told you that billionaires aren't paying taxes like the rest of us, and they're doing it legally? Imagine living in a world where you could grow your wealth, take out money whenever you need it, and pass it down to your family without paying a single dollar in taxes. Sounds unreal, right? Well, it's possible, and in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how the buy, borrow, die strategy lets you do just that. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on wealth building strategies like this one. If you find this valuable, make sure to like the video, comment below, and tell me, what would you do with millions in tax-free wealth? And hey, feel free to share this with a friend who could use some financial wisdom. Now let's get into it. Let's face it, most of us are stuck in a system where the more we earn, the more we pay in taxes. For the average person, as your wealth grows, so does your tax bill. But for the ultra-rich, it's a completely different game. Some of the wealthiest people on the planet pay almost nothing in taxes, while everyday people like you and me could be paying up to 37% of our income. How is this possible? Here's the simple truth. The rich don't get taxed the same way because they understand one thing most people don't. Income is what's taxed, but wealth? That's a whole different story. If you can avoid creating taxable income, you can avoid taxes. And here's the secret. When billionaires buy assets, borrow money, and eventually pass their wealth down, none of that is taxed as income. So while you're stuck paying high taxes on every dollar you earn, they're quietly building empires without the IRS knocking at their door. Now I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a billionaire. That's exactly why you need this strategy. Because if the richest people are using it to keep their wealth, why aren't you? This isn't some complicated tax loophole only available to the 1%. It's a straightforward 3-step strategy that anyone can use, starting today. Step 1. Buy assets that appreciate. You need to start buying assets that go up in value. I'm talking about stocks, real estate, businesses, and even life insurance policies with a cash value component. Whatever you choose, the key is that it appreciates over time. Here's why this is so important. When your assets go up in value, 2 things happen. Your wealth grows. That's obvious, right? If your assets increase, so does your net worth. But here's the hidden gem. You don't pay taxes on that appreciation as long as you don't sell. The ultra-wealthy have over $8.5 trillion in unrealized capital gains, and they aren't paying taxes on it. They're letting their assets grow and leveraging them to keep building wealth. Imagine owning a business or holding onto stocks that keep going up in value, but you never sell them. As long as you don't sell, Uncle Sam can't touch it. Crazy, right? While most people are worried about getting taxed on their income, the rich just sit back and watch their wealth grow, tax-free. Wouldn't it be nice to play by their rules for a change? Step 2. Borrow against your assets. Okay, so what happens when you need cash? Here's where the strategy gets even better. Instead of selling your assets and paying taxes, you can borrow against them. Let's break it down. When you take out a loan, the money you receive isn't considered income. It's just a loan, no taxes. And by borrowing instead of selling, you keep your assets invested, allowing them to continue growing while you use the money however you want. Think about it like this. Imagine you've got a $10 million portfolio and need $3 million. You could sell $3 million worth of stocks and lose out on future growth, or you could borrow $3 million against your portfolio and keep the full $10 million working for you. J.P. Morgan did a study showing that people who borrow against their investments often make $148,000 more in returns than those who sell. And it doesn't stop there. You can use the money you borrow to buy even more assets, which means your wealth keeps growing even faster. You've just turned one pile of money into multiple streams of income without ever paying taxes on it. But borrowing against your assets is just the tip of the iceberg. There's still one more part to this strategy, and it's going to blow your mind. Step 3, die but not without a plan. This is where it all comes together. When you eventually pass away, your heirs will inherit your assets. But here's the kicker. They won't have to pay taxes on any of the gains. Why? Because of something called the step-up in basis. Let me explain. If you bought assets for $100,000 and they're worth $1 million when you die, your heirs don't inherit the original price you paid. They get the assets at today's value, $1 million. This completely wipes out the capital gains tax that would have been owed if you sold them while you were alive. It's a massive tax loophole that allows your wealth to be passed down tax-free. And for those of you worried about estate taxes, don't stress. Unless you're passing down more than $13 million or $27 million for married couples, you won't have to pay any estate taxes either. Even if you're over that limit, there are ways to protect your wealth using trusts and other tools. So let's recap. You buy assets that grow in value, you borrow against them to avoid taxes, and when you die, your heirs get everything tax-free. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, right? So there you have it. The buy, borrow, die strategy in all its glory. This is how the rich get richer and keep the taxman away. By buying appreciating assets, borrowing instead of selling, and passing wealth down strategically, you can live a life of financial freedom and create a legacy for generations to come. But remember, this is just one part of building wealth. If you really want to take your financial game to the next level, you need to understand the power of compounding. This is where the true wealth explosion happens, and I've got a video that explains exactly how to use compounding to supercharge your financial future. Click on the link here, and I'll see you in that next video.